welcome back to the Meadow Florals. It's Sydney, also known as Meadow, and today I'm going to be talking about my experience doing freelance floral design work. Okay, so how I learned floral design was firstly by just trying it at home, trial and error, practicing, doing little things. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of my Instagram, that was some of my first arrangements that I've ever done. Just trying it out, and of course, watching YouTube videos, Instagram videos, just looking at pictures and then trying it myself. Also, I go to Half Price Books a lot and I look at their books. I've got a lot of floral design books from Half Price Books. They're really good to me, and I like it when they're older because it teaches you what they've been doing in the floral industry. So I've got a lot of books from there. Sometimes I'll go to Barnes and Noble and I just look at the books, learn. They tell you about the tools and different techniques. So I like looking at the books like that. And also, of course, I watch Netflix and HBO Max, The Big Flower Fight and Full Bloom. I love those competition floral shows. They're very inspiring. And I just learn as much as I can from just watching others. And when I started working in the grocery store, I was so lucky, and I'm still lucky because I have great managers who are very, very, very knowledgeable about floral design. So when I watch them, I just learn a lot, and they're really open to sharing tips, and I just take it all in and apply it. So that's really how I've learned. Practicing, doing as much orders as I can. And in the grocery store, we use a lot of online ordering systems like FTD, BloomNet, and DoorDash. So with those, I don't have as much freedom. Sometimes they'll order floors design arrangements, but basically most of the orders, the customer, you choose what arrangement you want, and we just have to design it as closely as possible. So that's another way I've learned, just copying what I see on the screen. And also, I went to the Houston School of Flowers and I took the floral designs class. It was 2 weeks. You go to class 4 times over the 2 weeks, and we learned how to design in foam, how to tape a grid on a vase, European style design, Ikebana style, and we learned some other things that I just can't remember right now, but that really helped me build some structure and foundation on top of what I had, because basically my timeline was that I was self-taught, took the class, and then I started working at the grocery store. So yeah, that's my background. Now I'm going to talk to you about the freelance experience that I had, which is really, really great. And I found this opportunity on LinkedIn. You can also look on Facebook groups for florist or floral designers in your city, and maybe Instagram. But yeah, I found mine on LinkedIn, and I just applied like a regular job. So once I applied, we were messaging on LinkedIn, and I agreed to work for 2 days. And then once it got closer, because that was pretty far out, maybe a month out when I agreed to that, and whenever it got closer, I agreed to work one more shift, which was a teardown of an event. So on the first day, basically I just walked in, I was meeting everyone. Everyone was so kind and just nice. We all had our tasks ready for the event. Excuse me. So the first event that I worked on, wasn't a wedding or anything. It was like I'd say it was an event like for an organization, and they basically hired her to do this event because I think she works with them regularly or something. I can't remember, but anyways, I was very lucky because the owner and the lady who I worked for, she was very, very nice. She was organized and very skilled in floral design. So when I got there, she had everything prepared like in a packet, and basically it told you what arrangements were needed for the event, how many of each one, and the flower recipes for each arrangement. So she told me which ones I was making, and I think I made like 6 or 9 of the first one, 30 of another, and 6 of another. So the first one I started were centerpieces for tables, for dining tables. And so for those, she created a sample so I could know like what it's supposed to look like roughly. And also she prepared buckets with for each arrangement. It had the exact number of flowers I was supposed to use. So everything was laid out clearly for me. I didn't have to go running around looking for it, seeing if we had it. Everything was ready. So I started on that, and then once I finished my first arrangement, she came and looked at it, gave me some advice, critique, and then told me like little things that she would do differently. And then I tried again for my second one, and then on the third one, she actually sat down with me and we did it step by step so I could see how she did it, and that really, really, really helped me because sometimes when you're looking at it already done, you can't see how it was built. So, of course, because also I'm working freelance, so it's really their vision, and I'm just there to help complete the tasks, and I'm just happy to get the experience and learn. So yeah, that was great. And then I completed a few of those, and then we did like, so I completed a few of those, and then I think I was like hungry or something, so I took a break and I was just eating, and I got like lunch from HEB or something, and we were just relaxing. Everyone was doing their work, and we were talking, getting to know each other because I was new there, and we were watching Hallmark, and it was just cool. Like, it was nice. Didn't have to worry about any other tasks or whatever. So yeah, and then okay, so after break, or my lunch break, I went to my second task, which was tiny little arrangements for cocktail tables. It was very simple and elegant, and again, she prepared a sample, and I just went along and copied that however many times. I think there were 10, and those are pretty simple and easy to do, so I didn't need that much guidance this time. And after that, I was pretty much done for the day. That was it. I worked on the first centerpieces for the first half of the day, break, and then the second, and I was done. So that was a really easy day. So for day 2, I got a different event to start with, which was a wedding. So this one was pretty simple. I made bunches of greenery like eucalyptus, and I can't remember what else was in it. It was, or maybe it was all eucalyptus. I think it might have been just 3 types of eucalyptus. Yeah. So it was 3 types of eucalyptus, and I just bunched it off because they're going to be in these nice little jars, and then added fairy lights in them for the wedding. So I just made them all look similar and then put them in water. And then after I got those done, I went back to working on the wedding. I mean, not the wedding. Okay, so after I got those done, I went back to working on the event from day one, which was the other organization event. So now I had to complete 30 bud vases. I think they were also just going to be put around the venue. So that was really cool. I got to use some flowers that I never ever get to use in the grocery store. And I got to have a lot of freedom in just designing each one really differently. And yeah, it was so nice. They were beautiful, and I love the turnout. And I had fun with that. Yeah, I never really. I've used bud vases, but I haven't done them in such a large grouping. So that was cool. And then, was it the same night? No. So day 3 was just the small shift that I decided to take, and that was late at night. The first 2 days I worked 9 to 5 and then 9 to 6. So the second day was the tear down of the main event I had been working on for the past 2 days. I wasn't able to make it to the setup, but I went to the teardown, and that was at from 11 p.m. to midnight. And that was really cool. It went by really quickly. Basically, we just went all around the venue, gathered up the flowers. If we couldn't give away the flowers to anyone, if they didn't want them, we just threw away all the mechanics, like the tape, the foam, the wire, threw that in the trash, packed up all the vases, and we just cleaned up our area, and that was it. That was the teardown. So yeah, that was pretty good, and I thought it was a really great freelance experience. I enjoyed it, and I learned so much, and I hope I'll get to work with her again. So yeah, so now I'm going to talk about the pros or the benefits of this freelance experience that I had. This is my only one to date, and hopefully I'll have more in the new year coming. So pro number 1 is that you get to set your own rate instead of, just, I don't know if that's for everyone, but for this one, she did ask, like, what's my rate? And that was nice that I got to, choose instead of just giving a range, like kind of when you have a regular job interview and they ask you what's your range, but then they say, well, this is my range. This one, it was just like, well, what's your rate? And then I told her, and it was smooth and easy like that. The second pro, I would say it's a very relaxed environment. You don't have to worry about customers coming up and, maybe taking a balloon order in the midst of your big floral order, or just any interruptions. Basically, it's just you're here to do what you're here to do, and then you get it done and you go. So that's pro number 2. And then pro number 3 would be getting to work with high dollar flowers that I pretty much never get to work with, like different orchids. What was it? Ranunculus. I think another one was anemone. What was another one? I don't even know the other name of the other flower that I worked with, but and besides working with high dollar flowers, you get to work with the flowers at full bloom, so it's like a whole different experience. That's one thing that at working in the store, it's like everything should be closed when you work with it. Not fully closed, but if they are, the better, because then when the customers buy it, it lasts longer, so they get their money's worth. So everything has to be like fresh. But in this like event work, you get to see everything bloomed out and it's beautiful, and they people, they just want it for one day, so they want it to look as amazing as it can, and it's awesome. So that was really cool. Then number 4 is that I got to network and meet a lot of really amazing, talented designers. I learned so much from them. They just do it with ease. And then also you get to just hear their experiences, you get advice, and it just makes you feel like, you know, it's all just, you're just gonna get better and better. Just keep working at it, and I love that. So yeah. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. So number 5 was that I got to see the ins and outs of doing the event, mostly at the breakdown, and certain things I know, like packaging. So yeah, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, seeing the ins and outs of an event, and I saw that at the teardown, and like I got to see like the waiters and waitresses running around. They're getting the food together. We're taking the flowers out. People are, you know, the computer people shutting down the presentation. Like, I don't know, it was just a different energy, and I like that. That was interesting. So, and then my last pro was that it was just a new style of work overall, and I really liked it. Yeah, it was a nice change of pace for me. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed myself doing freelance work. I can't wait to do more freelance work, and just for me, I just want to do more different styles of arrangements, and get to travel, do weddings, do events, corporate events, award shows, magazines, whatever I can do, movies, TV. Like, one of my favorite arrangements that I always think back to is on the movie Just Go With It. And I remember when Adam Sandler, he was lying about being married. And then the girl finally found out when they were on the beach. So he came to her job, she was a teacher, and he brought her this gigantic floral wrap this long, and then it was only on screen for like 2 seconds, and then they trashed it. But it was so beautiful. I always think about that wrap. So I always want to work in movies or TVs where you get to see the flowers on screen. So I just have to start somewhere, and I think freelance work will help me, get there, doing different styles of work. So yeah. So that's my experience. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video on the Meadow Florals. I have so much more to come, and I love sharing with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've done freelance work, maybe you can share with me your experience. I'd love to hear it, and just thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.